Hey everybody, Benny P here with Lively Lakes Fly Fishing, and I just got down to the stream and I'm sitting here and I'm sitting stream side and I'm just looking up there and I'm thinking, how the heck can I even sit here and make an opening clip, because the stream's too beautiful. I just want to go in and I just want to just immerse myself into this stream right now. So before I do that, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. Today's day started for me. I had no idea I was going to be fishing. I got my work done early. I have no commitments this evening. Even though there's some rain coming through, Big Shrive and I both agreed this was something I needed to go do because there's a good chance that I'm going to get a couple hours of fishing in. So jumped in a truck, an hour and a half later, here I am on a trout stream. No better place to be in the world. Real quick, another thing before I start, I just want to, there have been a lot of people asking, like, how do you go catch these little fish and you're excited? Well, to everybody out there fishing, we all fish for different reasons. I love the experience. And to me, there's no better experience than the mountain brook trout experience. I love blue lining, I love mountain fishing, and there's no better experience for me. That's all I can say. It's not the size of the fish for me, it's the experience. Now don't get me wrong, I love catching big fish as well. I've been out with Iron Mike on the wild brown trout, and that's exciting for me as well. I mean, I like every experience, every unique experience, but if I was to pick one, this is the experience I enjoy the most. But don't get me wrong, even the opening day of trout, I enjoyed that experience in Pennsylvania. It's a big tradition. I've had a lot of fun with that. So if you're going to sit there and, I don't know if people are necessarily questioning it. They're just, some people don't understand. You have to give it a try. It's a blue line experience. You're going to be in the mountains. This is going to be your environment. You're not going to see a lot of people. If you see anybody at all, I usually don't see a person. If you do, it's cool to trade stories with other blue liners, and you're going to just take up a stream and catch a bunch of little native brook trout and really get a stress relief for your day. And maybe for the next few weeks, that'll just be a great stress reliever for you. So highly advise people to give it a try before you knock it, before you question it. I hope that's answered some questions from my standpoint on it. And let me go ahead and skip to the next thing, and what that is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attack this stream today. I'm going to head up this little mountain stream. I'm going to be fishing my Redington Classic trout with my zero reel. Once again, I have my 8-foot 4-weight. I was too excited and I ran out too fast and forgot to grab my 7.5-foot 3-weight again, so it'll be my 8-foot 4-weight Redington Classic trout with my zero reel. I have a Rio dry fly line and a Rio 6-foot tapered leader on there. The fly I'm going to be using today is the Lively Legs. This is an olive caddis pattern. It's a size 16, and why I'm going with the size 16 today is because I know this stream, I know these fish are a little bit smaller, and I want to be able to hook some and bring them to the net. So last time I was out, it was a size 14. The time before that, I think I fished a size 12. I kind of fished the fly that I know I'm going to be able to hook the fish with. If I go to a new stream, I usually do use a caddis pattern, but this size 16 caddis will do a nice job at hooking some of these small little native brookies today. So follow along. I'm going to turn this camera around. I'll kind of explain what I'm doing as I go, and I hope you enjoy this native brook trout experience today. Alright, that's a little guy. I mean, I just put him up here really fast and get him off. Look how small that one is. That is just a little ferocious eating native brookie. There's another little one. This one just a tad bigger than the first one. Hopefully we get into some nicer fish, but it came up right away. I popped a little cast. You can see underneath that rhododendron, right in the little holding spot, and that guy came right up and took it. And there he is. Gorgeous looking little wild brook trout with a caddis dry fly right in the corner of his mouth. And away he goes. Alright, now we got a couple fish in the net. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Excuse my fly line there. You can see that's where that fish was holding. A lot of times when I come up to these little spots and I use the tip of my rod, I throw up into the water that's moving. And this is kind of like the plunge. This isn't a full plunge pool, but this is where the water is plunging down through. And I let my fly slowly linger its way down through. And as it's lingering it down through, that's when you usually get a strike. So on that clip, I don't think you're going to see it, but I threw up into here. I kind of gave it a few seconds. It lingered its way down through, and I caught a fish somewhere right in here. Okay, this next spot's going to be really cool. This is the spot I caught that last fish in. But if you look up, you can see some sunshine's peeking out now. And right underneath those trees, there's going to be hopefully a fish sitting there. I can see there's some deeper water. So I'm going to sneak up through. I'm going to stay on this side. I'm going to try to get up to that rhododendron, maybe sneak past it a little bit and stay over towards these rocks and try to drop a cast down into there. Well, that worked out perfect. I stayed back. I used this as cover, and I hooked the fish, brought him up to put him in the net, and he plopped off right there. But there's a great example. You stay downstream. We're using stuff as our cover, like this rhododendron, and you want to not let the fish know you're coming. So don't just walk straight up to the spot. Stay a little bit back and drop your cast down in. Okay, this one's going to be a little more off video because it was further downstream, but just got a decent one. Oh my, look at that one. Look at the coin marks on this fish. That one's doubled up right there in the middle. You see how that's a double coin mark together? Those are beautiful par marks. Let's get them back off and in the water. Okay, a little bit of deeper water here. I'm going to stay on this side and ping a little cast into there. You notice I'm calling these casts, these are my ping casts. Okay, when I say ping cast, that's how I'm starting to cast. The fly is between my pointer finger and my thumb, the hook facing down so it doesn't catch either one. Pull a little bit of line out, kind of make a judgment. I've been doing this long enough from back here, so I can zing a cast straight up into there. And on the other side of this rock right here. Okay, that worked out perfect. I have the fish down here in the net right now, and I'll give you a look at them in a second. That's the rock I threw on the other side of that rock with my little ping cast. Pinged it into there. There wasn't much of a flow, so I just lifted the rod my way a little bit. That brought the fly right into the strike zone, and he was probably under that rock, and when he saw that fly come out, he darted up and he devoured it. Okay, there he is, and that's a better size looking brookie, and you can see that olive caddis right in the corner of his mouth. Let's get him off and get him back in the water. There he goes. We'll just walk up here real quick so I can show you this. It's the rock I'm talking about. I threw that cast up above it. The current's out here, so it really didn't move. So I brought that cast back here, and underneath this rock, that's where he was sitting. So my fly got right into here, and that's when he came up and devoured it. Alright, that was a nicer fish. Nice colors, better sized. You know, for this stream, that's a really good fish, and I have to be happy with that one. Things are going well. Let's keep working upstream. I'll keep explaining the spots, and we'll see if we can keep hooking up with more native brook trout. Alright, this one's tough. You're not going to see me in it. You can see the rock to the right of the screen. I have to get a cast up by that rock, and there's a log right over top of it and underneath that log. And I'm back behind the camera. I'm going to see if I can pull it off. Alright, that should be the best distance there. Keep your eyes on the water. The cast was perfect. And there's a taker. Get him in the net and get a look at him. Alright, that was a tough little spot. There's no way I could be in front of the camera. Hope you can see the take on the video. And we're going to take a look at this little fish, then I'm going to explain that spot. It's pretty unique. And off he goes. Well, the sun made it really hard to film that spot, and I was on the other side of this branch that's down right here. I'm going to explain it right now. Set the camera up, got right behind the camera, cast over the camera, and if you turn around and look, we're going to get in a place where you can see this better. This is a big tree branch. It was down over the water. There's the holding water up underneath it, and there's the rock I expected that brookie to come out from. And it was perfect. When that fly hit the water, you're going to see it's going to hit right here. That guy came out and he straight up ambushed it. And it was a perfect cast and a perfect spot. Remember that. You have these spots like this. Don't get yourself on this side of that spot so they can look out and see you. Stay downstream and stay away from it and cast up into it. That's what I did on that spot, and it worked perfect. Snuck up on this one here. He's right ahead of me. Nice little brook trout. Swimming right on the edge of that rock right there. Giving himself away. Like I said, if you're walking upstream, you can sneak up on fish sometimes. Wait until you see this guy. Anybody that knows me knows I like dark brookies. I'm going to show you in a second where I cast to get this fish, but let me show you this fish first. Just look at that guy. Really nice dark looking brookie. You can still see the red dots, the coin dots are there, the white lines on the fins. That is a beauty. And if you look at his mouth, I like to call that tobacco stained. You see that tobacco stained look he's got all over his mouth? That's just a beautiful fish. Those guys are my favorite right there. Okay, on this spot you have the waters coming down through and it's shooting just a little bit between these rocks, but this is kind of washed out through here. You have the root system over here. You can see how crystal clear it is. I put that cast straight up in between these two rocks and that guy came out and he just slammed it. That's a good little hiding spot for him. He feels safe. Doesn't have to worry about over top predators, anything over top of him coming in to get him. And when that fly hit the water, he came out and he just devoured it. Alright, same thing, just got above where I caught that dark little brookie, and it's just a little holding spot, but there's a big rock here. There could be one creeping up into there, and if I throw out into that pool, he may come out and grab it. That's exactly what happened. I made a less than average cast, but I'm way below that spot. It's an increase right now in the elevation, and I'm standing below it. He never saw me coming, and he came right out from another rock and grabbed it. Let's go take a quick look at him. Pretty little fish. Get him back in. All right, this spot. I expect the brookie to be tucked back into here, but I have to come up this way and just cast around here and try to catch one. The last thing I want to do is head straight down over to it. So the camera's set up here. I'll be coming in from this angle. Okay, it was there. I couldn't see it to set the hook. Set it too late. I felt it. Doubt you're going to see it in the video though. I don't know if you can hear that. The thunder is rolling, the wind's picked up, the rain's moved in, and the person who predicts the weather for the weatherchannel.com was spot on. So, can't complain, got 3 hours of good fishing in, and Caught some really nice looking brookies, nothing big, but some beauties, some absolute beauties. I'd like to thank everybody for following along. Be sure to check us out now on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and of course right here on YouTube. And until next time, best of luck on the water.